If you just joined, what I'm going to do is in about an hour, I'm going to post the video about what happened to me this morning and how all of you can gain an awareness and tell me about your expansive awareness. 2023 purpose is in. It is in. Came from JFK just a few weeks ago. I am in the process of working it through. A big part of this morning was that 2023 purpose. Not ready to fully share yet, but if there's anybody that wants to join me in that discussion at some point later in the month, we can do that together. Let me know. Today we're going to do soul pieces, the pieces of you that are outstanding. Outstanding in a field or outstanding in your field. Here's how it's gonna work. Like and subscribe. You're here already because I'm assuming you have your alerts turned on. So happy about that. Check out my podcast, Linking to the Afterlife. I have a separate account here on Instagram for that. It's also on Libsyn. If you have trouble finding it, let me know. We'll send you the links. It has caused such, I'm going to keep using this word, expansive expansion, expansive expansion in my own heart, as well as my guests and the listeners. It has changed this podcast from just reading loved ones to reading the pieces of our soul that are left outstanding. But today, again, I'm going to do some mini readings for you guys. This is how it's going to work. You would have to comment, like the post after when it comes out, share it if you like. You'd have to comment, yes, Donna, I would like to know if I have any pieces of my soul outstanding right now. And I'm going to do a quick mini reading. It's probably going to be a scene. I'm just going to spit out what I see and we'll see how it goes from there. So again, if anybody's on the live right now and wants, it's a personal thing. It's definitely a personal thing. So if you're ready for that, and if you'd like to share it with all my listeners here and anywhere else I choose to share this, then that's great. All right, Cynthia Alex would like to know if I have any pieces of my soul outstanding right now. Thank you for playing the game. So we're going to go with Cynthia first. Cynthia, I see you out in a field. Oh, I guess we're going for a theme here today, Spirit. I see you out in a field, and if you're familiar with sports, meaning baseball, softball, the person that plays center field, right? Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. You're out in center field, standing alone in your field. No good, bad, right or wrong, Cynthia, but what you're doing out in this field is looking up and expecting something to just fall down on you, something. You're waiting for something, standing out in this field, saying that's a fine thing to be standing out there. And your emotions are starting to get the best of you. Your emotions are starting to say to you, why are you standing there? Nothing's coming. There's no purpose for you in center field. Cynthia, first jot down, is that resonating with you, yes or no? Because I feel how I want to explain that is, you're waiting for something that's not coming, but you're waiting for something that you expect to come instead of, here I am in center field. I've got all this space around me. Let's figure out what's inside here to come up and not up here to come down. Cynthia, is that making sense to you? Yes. Thank you, Cynthia, for that. So this piece of your soul, I want you to think of that now. Put it in your head. Standing out in center field is definitely a feminine aspect of you. It's this creative side that wants to come out. Remember, wants to come out. And I'm not seeing the stands. I'm only seeing you in center field standing there. You've got your palms out and up, which is a fabulous thing. That's all. I am ready to receive. However, again, you're waiting for it to come to you. When I'm telling you, Spirit's saying to you right now, it's coming from inside of you and not outside of you. So whatever is causing this not to happen, to drop down in you, whatever is causing that, you got to work with that aspect of your soul that's standing out in the field, waiting, and tell that piece of your soul, we don't have to wait. We already have what we are waiting for. There's a post. We don't have to wait. We already have what we are waiting for. Cynthia, that's for you. Anybody, if they want to do this sort of reading, you can be on the podcast or you can have a reading with me. Half an hour is more than enough. Email me, contact me. Cynthia, nice one. Cynthia, nice one. All right, who else would like a reading? Barbara, how are you today? Thanks for joining. Barbara, the piece of your soul that I'm seeing, we're going to stick with the analogy of the baseball field. Your piece is running, just hit the ball, and is running to first base. Just hit the ball and is running to first base. You're like right in the center of home plate and first base. Thanks, Moose, my dad, who's here giving me all these memories of softball, playing with him. Softball, yeah. You're not reaching first base. Hit the ball, that's the biggest part. That's the biggest part of the game. You hit the ball. You keep thinking, this piece of your soul keeps thinking that it's not far enough, that you're going to get stuck at first base and never make it around the bases, that you're going to get stuck at first base. So you know when you hit the ball and your first base coach, you're running and you're not looking at the ball, but your first base coach is saying, take the turn, which means go for it. The ball hasn't been caught yet. You're going to make it to second. Or the coach at first base is saying, dig it out, which just means you're going to, run right past first base, go right, and you're stopped at first base because the ball didn't go as far. This piece of your soul is stuck in that unknowing place. Did you hit the ball far enough so that you can run the bases? Wow, this is pretty powerful, Barbara. Comment a yes if that works for you. The piece of your soul that is stuck, it is stuck. Barbara, I'm looking for your yes. It is stuck in between home plate and first base. So what you need to do is go to that piece of your soul and say, take the turn. Keep running. You're going to make it all the way around and back to home plate. I'm feeling that one. Barbara, how does that feel for you? Yes, and she played first base. Nice one, Barbara. I loved first base. I did not play first base. I was a third base sort of person. And that was in and of itself such a lesson for me. Duke next door does not like me talking. All right, I'm going back to the beginning. Barbara, work with that. All right, I'm scrolling through. All right, Barbara, we did. Trish, we're on you. Trish, yay. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for joining. Take a look at my account in about an hour or so. I'm going to post what happened to me this morning, which was expansive to the max. And I'm going to talk about that. Trish, we're all about the field here. We're on the field. Let's see what base you're on. Trish, you're standing on second base, but you're on defense. You're in the outfield, standing on second base. So typically the second baseman stands in between first and second base, okay? And when the ball is hit, you're going to run to second to try to get that first base runner out, or you're going to be a cutoff man to right field and go out and bring the ball in if the ball was hit out. But you're standing on first base and the play hasn't been made. You're standing in the wrong position. You're supposed to be in between first and second base, out toward the line, the grass line. So this piece of your soul is expecting something. However, that something hasn't happened yet. That piece of your soul is thinking, I don't want to go back to my original position. I want to stay here on second base so that I'm ready to receive, when the actual receiving doesn't happen on second base. It happens in between first base and second base. So you're going to go to that piece of your soul on second base, and you've done some work with me like this before, so I know that you know what you're going to do here. Go to that piece of your soul and say, we need to stand somewhere else. Let me help you to the new spot where we will be receiving. What I'm feeling in my heart right now and going through my head right now is there's that piece of you that doesn't want to go backward. And it's not backward. It's positioning yourself in a different way. Ooh, that's really good. Positioning yourself in a different way. So, Trish, tell me, is that what you're thinking? Are you thinking if you go places, it's like you're going backward? And we're never going backward. Yeah, sometimes we go forward and have to step back a few times. It's just a repositioning. So you're just repositioning yourself. I'm loving that my dad's here. Trish, let's see what you'd comment here about thinking that you're going backwards. So I gave you how to go back to that piece of yourself. Try that and then get a hold of me if you need any other questions. Anybody wants a reading that they're not going to get it here, I offer readings on the podcast for free. Just email me, or you can email me for a private reading, half-an-hour readings, $65. Can't beat that. Trish is saying we need to stand somewhere else. Yes, let me help you to the new spot. Position yourself in a different way. Absolutely, Trish, you got it. Right on, you got it. Trish saying again, we don't have to wait. We all are ready to have what we are waiting for because we already have it inside. We have it inside. Okay, Trish, you're good to go. All right, let me see who else. Trish, I am Cam 3. I'm going with you next. She said she would like to know. So, piece of your soul, if you're unfamiliar with the work I do, check out my podcast, Linking to the Afterlife. It's getting rave reviews and lots of good chart toppers right now. I am Cam. I'm going to assume that your name is Cam something. I need a name of some sort. So I'm just going to assume your name is Cam, and we're going with the field analogy here. Cam, you're at shortstop. Shortstop is a busy position. So I would think in this life, in this human existence right now, you've got a busyness going on. You're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking back, you're looking forward. Shortstop is the one that always gets everybody pumped up. Shortstop is the one that's going to say, 2 outs, 2 outs. Is always the one telling everybody else what's going on. And that's fine. If you feel like that in this life, this is where this piece of your soul is coming from. So this piece of your soul is always on, is always not waiting, but is anticipating something. It's making me anxious to stand there. Shortstop, for me, when I was playing softball, is a movement. It's always moving. You're always moving. So Spirit's saying, look, go to this piece of your soul and sit down with it. Ask it to sit down with you. We don't have to be anxious about what's coming. Does that resonate with you? I am Cam 3. Let me know in the comments right now. So go to that place. Carrie is your name. Thank you. Go to that place. Sit with that piece of your soul and say to them, we can sit now. We can take a break. We can just think about us. Yes, thank you for letting me know, Carrie. So if you don't understand how to work with that piece of your soul, check out my podcast, the soul experiences that I've shared, or get another reading with me. I'm seeing you sit with her, so she will sit down, but you have to start that communication, because even sitting down, that piece of your soul is doing this, is always looking around. So get that piece of your soul, hang out with them in the seated position more often and see what happens from there. Thanks, Carrie, for joining. Appreciate it. All right, let's see what's next. I'm going through Anna. Let me just make sure you're next. Anna, you're next. Anna. We're going again with the field analogy, and you are the catcher. You're the one that sits in that squat position. I don't feel you ever get up. So in this lifetime, you might have knee problems. You might have neck problems or lower back problems. Anything from being in that crouched position. I was never a catcher, didn't ever want to be a catcher. In this position, this piece of your soul sees everything. You see the whole field, right? You are the only one in this game that has a clear view of the whole team. Everybody else is facing the batter. You're facing forward. What a wonderful position to be in. Anna, let me know if that's resonating with you, that you feel in this lifetime you've got this great position to see everything, but you also feel small, right? The catcher is small. So here's what this piece of your soul needs. And you need to go to that catcher. It's got a full face mask, totally protected everywhere, right? Armor, protection. Go to that piece of your soul, sit in the crouch with them, and ask them, can I take off your mask? If they say yes, take it off. How about if we stand up? If they say yes, go ahead and stand up. If they don't say yes, go back to the crouch position and start to talk to them, be more comfortable, tell them that you're here, that you're wanting to share. Anna, does that make sense to you in this life? Seeing the full picture, but also feel like you're cut off from the full picture. I would like to know that, Anna. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm just scrolling through. Thanks everybody for joining. Be sure to check out Anna saying yes, that resonates with her. Woohoo! I'm seeing you there with that piece of your soul, but I'm not seeing she's given up the mask yet. That's an important piece. So work with that, Anna, work with that. Okay, let me scroll back and see who's next. Okay, Anna, we did. Trish, thank you. Shindell17, I don't know what your first name is. Do I? Can you just quickly jot in your first name? I like the first name. Please. I'm going to do two more. I'm going to do Shindell, if you would tell me your name. And we're doing, it feels like Spirit's giving me all about a baseball game. Stephanie, that's right, Stephanie, I know your name. Thank you so much. Okay, doing Stephanie and then Rebecca, and that's my last two for the day today. If you've watched the podcast, listened to the podcast, thank you so much. Please rate it. If you feel called to rate it and review it, best place to do that is on Apple Podcasts or on Amazon. Follow me over on my other Instagram account, which is Linking to the Afterlife. I share a lot between both of them. I'm going to share what happened to me this morning in a post in about an hour, so stay tuned for that. All right. I'm doing Stephanie and then Rebecca, and then that's it. Stephanie, the field. You're the coach. You're the coach. Barking out orders, always on the sideline, really wants to get involved in the game, but has resigned themselves to think that I'm only here on the sidelines. I'm only going to coach. So Stephanie, is there something about your life right now that you're feeling or are the coach and not involved any? But there's a cutoff between you being the coach and then that piece of you that really wants to be out there. And Spirit's saying you can definitely be both. But if there's a piece of you that's saying to yourself, I'm not sure I can be both, then this is the piece of soul that's outstanding in the field. I just love this analogy. Thank you so much, everybody up there. So go to the coach. Barking orders. It's really hard for me to get close to them because they're barking orders, waving their arms. So you need to do this from a distance. You need to talk to the coach and say, hey, coach, can I have a word? You got to get their attention first. And when they stop barking orders, that's when you'll walk up to them. Once you do that, it might take you a minute to do that. Again, you're doing this all in meditation, guys, or just seeing it in your head. I'm trying to give you enough information, enough details. It's masculine because it's that strong, it's that strength. That's okay. You want to come in as feminine. Hey, coach, can I have a word? because the game, nothing's happening that you need to see right now in the game. This is all about you. So move, Stephanie, move to the coach and start talking to them as you get closer and closer. Look, it's time for us to come together. It's time for us to know that this is where we're meant to be, right here, coaching, but understanding that we don't have to be in that place. We can coach ourselves. Oh, there we go. There's the 2023. All right. Stephanie, let me know if that works for you in the comments. Anna says it makes so much sense. Great. Okay. I'm going to do my last one, which is Rebecca, right? She was at Stephanie. Yes, Rebecca. We're not asking a question. I'm sorry, let me just read what you said. I'm not sure if we can ask a question, but can you pick up anything about my soul connection? No, I can't do that, Rebecca. I'm doing you in a soul piece, a piece of your soul. Now, it might make sense, whoever you're asking for, but I'm just doing you right now. This is for you to take into your daily life. So in the baseball field, your position is that designated hitter. Now, if you're not familiar with that, the designated make the game. All right, my battery's getting low, so I'm going quick here. Hopefully you can still hear me. The designated hitter is always waiting to get in the game. Stop waiting to get in the game. Stop waiting to get in the game. How does that sound? When you're waiting to get in the game, you're not playing the game. You're only waiting. And what this whole reading, all these readings have been about, is that soul piece that's still standing there out in the field, but you're not even in the field. You're in the dugout. So I need you to go to that piece of your soul and say, we can play. We can play together. We don't need to be asked to be in the game. You don't need anyone to ask you to be a part of the game. You are the game. It's your soul that wants you to come and play the game with them. Now, you don't have to play with anybody else. Just be with yourself. So go to the dugout, see that designated hitter sitting in the dugout and waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. There's so much more that we have. There's so much more that we have waiting for us, in us, not for something else out there, but in us. Does that make sense? I would love to hear anybody else's comments. So I'm just scrolling through. That was my last reading for the day. Thank you, everybody, so much, so much. Rebecca, that last one was for you, the dugout. If you have anything else to say about that, comment here. So everybody else that joins, thank you again so much. Be sure to listen to the podcast. Join me over there on Linking to the Afterlife podcast, my Instagram page. Wait for this wonderful piece of awareness that I got this morning. I'm going to share a post on that later today. Thanks again, everybody, so much for joining. Be sure to like it and share it and keep commenting. It makes me know I'm heard. All right, Rebecca said that resonates. Thank you. You're so very welcome, Rebecca. Thanks, everybody. See ya.